Welcome back to Desk Careers, everybody. I'm so excited to have another amazing guest with us on our Desk Careers Digital Spotlight platform. Today we speak with Annu Jacob, who is the Production Manager Chemicals at Culligan Middle East. Welcome, Annu. How are you today?
I'm good, Maria. Thank you. Good morning to you.
It's so great to have you here. And I love having women in STEM careers, women in science-based and maths careers. It's so great. I know it's definitely a focus that we want to be paying more attention to, not only for our young girls, but also for our males as well, to see that industries are not dominated by gender anymore, that we can be boys or girls and be able to have these career pathways. So talk to us about what is a production manager in chemicals? What does that mean?
As production manager in Culligan Chemicals, I have been looking the production planning, scheduling, then the every day-to-day activities. And in actual case, I am managing all the aspect of chemical production plant in Culligan.
How did you know that you wanted to work in chemicals? When did you decide that this was a job that you wanted to do?
When I was smaller, if I go back, my interest in science, my mother was a science teacher. So I was like maybe influenced by her. She was a middle school teacher teaching science. So I was like, we all, three of us, three children, we were like more influenced by her, and we all took science and maths. I was more interested in science and maths. Of course, I also liked my native language, Malayalam. But then from that time itself, I had a view to go for engineering. So I was like, no, if I get an admission for engineering, I thought I will go for an engineering course.
And I know that you really enjoyed physics and chemistry and maths, and you said that you were academically scoring higher than your peers. Back in that time,
Yeah.
would you say that your mother was your role model, and did you see other women learning science and physics and chemistry? And was that you know, the inspiration that drove you forward?
It's not necessarily women. My mother was, of course, a role model, but I was not into teaching. But few of my cousins, they were civil engineers, mechanical engineers. So I was looking forward for joining an engineering course. And of course, I was good in chemistry. And then I looked forward for joining some manufacturing facility.
So tell us about your role at Culligan. What exactly do you do at Culligan on a day-to-day task? If we look at your day-to-day tasks, what is it that you do?
Actually, I joined Culligan, or I was hired in Culligan to start up the chemical production facility. In 2013, Culligan decided to start the Culligan Chemicals. So I was hired, and looking back at those times, it was challenging as well as interesting to start, build, and to design this chemical production facility from scratch. A new empty warehouse had to be converted to a chemical production and a chemical storage. It has to be like installation of chemical mixers, then a racking system for this chemical storage, then even to recruit a production team, setting up a quality control lab, and even getting these approvals from JAFSA, Javalali Free Zone. Everything had to be done. So this was a great experience. And after this, my boss, Mr. Roger McFarlane, started calling me Queen Bee of production. Once the production started off, then my focus turned to getting all these ISO accredited. And now we are ISO 9000, 14,000 accredited. On a day-to-day basis, my role revolves around planning and scheduling of production, then in-process and finished product quality control, then even negotiations with raw material suppliers for new products, and if we have existing raw materials, to increase our profitability and reduce the cost of these raw materials, then inventory management, then spending some time also in the lab for new product developments. This actually involves a lot of interaction with me, with the management, and within the organization, the various departments and people outside the organization. I actually enjoy this because I am a people's person. And this role of managing each and every aspect of chemical production plant makes my role actually dynamic and complete. And as a chemical production manager, in this position fits my academics, my experience, and also my personality.
That's amazing. I don't think I've ever heard an engineer tell me I'm a people person and my role helps me fulfill that. It's not something.
Because this role,
yeah, go on.
Because this role involves a lot of interaction, because with suppliers, with other departments, with my boss, Mr. Roger, it's a lot of interaction is to be there. So, and I enjoy that.
I know that you had an interest in learning the sciences. You had a mom who was a science teacher, and then you went on to your first career, which I believe was a support engineer in the technical cell of a large manufacturing company producing visco-stable fiber. How would you say were the strategies that you used from being a student to getting that first job as an engineer to your current role at Culligan Middle East?
Basically, my career journey, right? I joined this. It was a very large manufacturing organization, as you said. It is viscose staple fiber. Viscose staple fiber, you can say it's something close to cotton, artificial cotton, you can say, and have very close properties of this cotton. So it has very different plants: viscose plant, spinning plant, manufacturing units like sulfuric acid plants, carbon disulfide, and lot. So I was trained first, because that was my first career, and to be as a process engineer. As a process engineer, I was doing the process calculations for these various plants, and then there was production and consumption analysis, then profit and loss analysis for these plants. But on the other side, I was heavily involved in ISO documentation and internal quality audits, external quality audits, etc. Back in 90s, companies were like just start to get ISO accredited. And I was very fortunate enough to be involved in the ISO certification of this company. It was a startup, good experience. But then in early 2000, I moved to Dubai with my family. There I have to look for an opportunity, and I finally joined a company who are manufacturers of master batches. These master batches are, if you say, they are formulated color and functional concentrates. They are used to enhance the aesthetic value and also the physical properties of polymer products. So the company was a startup company. So I also grew up with the company and went on to become assistant quality manager. So I had the responsibilities of quality and also product developments. But as in charge of quality, I was just not only working in the lab, but I started interacting with the factory personnel to improve the in-process quality. And also in product developments, I was constantly in liaise with customers to finalize their new products. So this was also an interesting role.
Amazing.
Then
I know that one of your tips is to be focused on the career goal, and you believe that when we're focused on the goal, we can also focus on a bright future. How has that worked for you? How young were you when you realized that you had a career goal that you wanted to be focusing on?
I was 22 when I joined my first career. But after my first career, I can't say it was totally focused, because I had to move from India to Dubai. From there, I can say when I was around 28, that time when I moved to Dubai, I can say then I was focused on formulated manufacturing organizations and formulated manufacturers. From that time, I was continuously working in that field.
So you knew at that time that this was the focus you wanted to have. So it's important that young girls have role models in industries such as engineering. And I know that a lot of young girls today look towards engineering roles, and these organizations tend to be more male heavy in engineering. How have you found working as an engineer in a male dominated industry?
I can say it was even better to be a lady chemical engineer than males, because with interactions, as I said, I am a people's person. Even otherwise, in every field where I wanted to get into, I never uh, felt a barrier because I was a lady. I felt it was easier to be interacting with people being a lady. Everybody listened to me, and I got the opportunities were open for me.
That's amazing. I know that you said availability and opportunity trends in careers will change and fluctuate. What should young people be looking out for if they are considering going into engineering, especially in a role like yours?
See, whether it may be engineering or in different branches of engineering or any graduation course, when they are looking forward, they have to first study. And if they have a passion for a specific graduation course, they have to study what are the career opportunities that course can offer. So if you get some guidance from someone who is already in the field, that would be very helpful, because in the end, we should have the career opportunities. So that is my advice.
Annu, what would you say have been the unforgettable moments in your career journey that you want to share with us?
Yeah. Back in March 2020, during the early pandemic period, when most of the companies were starting to face challenges, our management decided to move forward with the commercial production of sanitizers. Those months taught me to focus and carry on. Those were the times of panic. Protocols were changing on a day-to-day basis. But for us, there was a sudden surge of production requirements. Everything had to be done in a short span of time. For achieving this, we had to work hard. We used to work on Fridays, Saturdays, and late evenings. When the whole world was shutting down, we were working 24/7. But as a production team, we were aware that we were doing this for the benefit of the community and for the benefit of our company, because the departments within our company were slowing down. Of course, we got help from other departments, which they needed some training and guidance. This was definitely a period that I will never forget in my career, and taught me to stay focused, work hard, and be flexible according to the requirements of the organization you are in.
Such an important thing to remember. And I'm so happy you brought up the pandemic and how not only you faced the ongoing challenge of what do we do next, but also how the organization Culligan Middle East faced and protected their employees and the community. And I think this is something that the youth really want to be paying more attention to. Stay focused, work hard, and be prepared to adapt to the challenges and changes, because we never know when those challenges might arise. Annu, what would you say on a personal level? Because you said that, as the world was slowing down and shutting down, Culligan was moving forward and working almost 24/7. What impact did that have on you personally in order to maintain your momentum, to stay motivated without burning out?
Because that was the time when actually sanitizer production was not with Culligan before. At that time only, our technical director, Mr. Roger McFarlane, he had formulated this sanitizer, which is based on hypochlorous acid. Originally, it was made only for Culligan staff and their families. And when we used it, we found that it is highly effective. And we went on to get all the approvals from international labs. And once this was a huge success, we all were ready to work hard to make it a commercial product. And now it has been sold in huge quantities to the local market and in export markets. So that was the time we understood that this will be very useful for the community and for the benefit of all the employees within the company.
And would you say that Annu, the person, was feeling motivated because you knew that
Yes.
These were new opportunities, and you also knew that it was important to stay focused on these opportunities, especially seeing how organizations around you were also struggling through this pandemic?
Yes, this is the time, and because of this focus only, our company had, you can say, survived the pandemic period in a very good way.
So incredible.
So that was the motivation. Of course, when other companies were like losing people, we were just continuing to move on.
So incredible. Thank you so much, Annu, for sharing that. I think it's really, really important, again, to remind the youth that we never know the challenge that lay ahead. It's always really important to stay open-minded, find your inner creativity, adapt to the changes, and start to, take your focus and move forward. Great tips that you're offering us today. Thank you, Annu.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you so much. That was such an excellent insight into your career journey and offering us these fabulous tips. Thank you, Annu. Thank you for your time. And that brings us to the end of another amazing interview. Today we spoke with Annu Jacob, who is the production manager, chemicals at Culligan Middle East, where she shared with us her career journey, how her mom was her inspiration, being a science teacher, and her current role tasks. Thank you everyone for watching, and we look forward to seeing you at our next Guest Careers Digital Spotlight.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you so much.